Ever wondered where sunshine and smiles collide? We're talking about the countries crowned happiest on Earth. The World Happiness Report uses science, not just sunshine meters, to rank these places. But is it all rainbows and puppy cuddles? Tune in to find out the surprising realities behind the happy facade. Ever wondered which countries are raking in the happiest points? Well, the United Nations has your answer with the World Happiness Report, a kind of global well-being popularity contest. Think of it as a complex recipe that measures how much people support each other. Free hugs are a happiness superpower, apparently, their health and even generosity. But hold on, isn't happiness a bit too personal to be bottled up like a science experiment? Imagine comparing countries to, well, happier versions of themselves. It's tricky. Sure, the report gives us a glimpse into global well-being, but the rankings are just the tip of the iceberg. Think of it like an average class grade. It tells you something, but not if the star student is inflating everyone else's score. The same goes for happiness. High rankings might mask struggles for some citizens. Plus, happiness is like a cultural fingerprint. What makes a Dane smile wide might not work its magic in Brazil. So, the rankings are a springboard, not the whole story. Want the real scoop? Let's dig deeper. There are articles by people living in these happiest places offering an insider's perspective. Even the World Happiness Report itself goes beyond rankings, exploring things that contribute to happiness like strong social support and feeling free. After all, true happiness isn't a number on a list. It's about building a society where everyone can flourish. As of May 2024, the top contenders for the happiness crown based on the UN World Happiness to be Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and Switzerland. These are joined by Netherlands, Norway, Luxembourg, Israel, and Australia, rounding out the top 10. Remember, happiness reports can vary slightly, but this list gives you a good starting point to explore which countries might be doing something right. Now, we all have that image in our heads, right? The happiest countries. Places where everyone skips down rainbows, singing show tunes, and worries are a distant memory. But hold on a sec, because reality isn't quite as picture perfect. Don't get us wrong, these top-ranked countries are doing something right. Sure, income inequality can be a real buzzkill, like having a mansion next door to a leaky shack. Imagine the rich folks living it up, while others struggle to climb the success ladder that's suddenly turned into an escalator, perpetually stuck on down. And diversity? It adds spice to life, folks. Cultural homogeneity might be a fancy way of saying everyone's the same, which is about as exciting as watching paint dry. Here's the thing, even the happiest places have their fair share of challenges. Take mental health, for example. Studies show that depression and anxiety rates can be surprisingly high in these countries, despite the perception of constant sunshine and smiles. Maybe the pressure to live up to the happiest label is like having a social media filter permanently glued to your face. It creates an unrealistic image that can be tough to maintain. Speaking of pressure, some countries known for their high quality of life can also have a dark side. Denmark and Switzerland might be the envy of many, but the pressure to succeed and fit in can be immense. Think of it like being in a constant competition for the title of happiest person ever. Exhausting, right? Money matters too. Strong economies are great, but don't forget the high taxes and cost of living that can leave many residents feeling financially squeezed. Not quite the fairy tale we envisioned. Then there's the weather. Countries with long, dark winters like Finland and Iceland might be postcard perfect, but seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. Think less winter wonderland and more endless night, where even the waffles can't cheer you up. Finally, let's talk community. Close-knit communities in places like Iceland can feel like a warm hug, but they can also be stifling for those who feel like outsiders. Imagine a giant family reunion where everyone knows everyone else's business. Not exactly relaxing for the introverts in the crowd. The bottom line? Happiness rankings are a great starting point, but they don't tell the whole story. Happiness is a complex beast, and the realities of life in these countries are far more nuanced than rainbows and sing-alongs. So, the next time you hear about the happiest places on Earth, remember, there's always more than meets the eye. The World Happiness Report uses a surprising mix of ingredients to cook up their happiness rankings. It's not just about how much money a country has, or the GDP per capita, although that can certainly help. Think of it as having a well-stocked pantry for happiness. But money alone can't buy happiness, as the saying goes. That's where social support comes in. Strong friendships and the feeling like you belong to a community are like sunshine for the soul. Studies by the Center for Compassion and Altruism. Research and education at Stanford University have shown that social connection is a powerful predictor of well-being. The rankings also consider factors like healthy life expectancy. Imagine happiness as a long road trip. A healthy body is like a reliable car, ensuring you can enjoy the journey for as long as possible. Freedom to pursue your goals and live life on your own terms is another key ingredient. As the philosopher John Stuart Mill once said,
The only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others.
happiness flourishes when people have the freedom to make choices about their lives. We've all seen the rankings. Finland, Denmark, Costa Rica, basking in a perpetual sunshine of happiness. But, as Einstein might have said,
Happiness is relative. Unless you're talking about comfy pajamas, then that's an absolute win.
the truth is, these top dogs haven't reached some magical state of perpetual cheer. Their happiness is more like a delicious stew simmering for generations. Strong social safety nets built over time act like flavor bombs, creating a sense of security and trust. Plus, a cultural emphasis on community adds a healthy dose of we're all in this together. Think of it this way. Investing in education and healthcare is like planting happiness seeds. A healthy, educated population has more opportunities and feels more secure, leading to a bountiful harvest of well-being. The happiest countries are also like master chefs, constantly adapting their recipe. They tweak tax structures and social programs to address new challenges, ensuring everyone gets a slice of the happiness pie. For example, the Nordic countries faced economic hardship in the early 1900s. But instead of throwing a national tantrum, they created strong social safety nets. These programs are like comfort food for the soul, fostering trust and a sense of security that keeps their happiness levels simmering. Similarly, Costa Rica's investment in education and healthcare in the latter half of the 20th century is like a secret ingredient, leading to a healthier and happier population. There's no magic formula for happiness, but these countries show us the importance of long-term investment, adaptability, and a culture that prioritizes well-being. It's a recipe worth exploring because remember, a happier world is a world with fewer grumpy trolls and maybe more comfy pajamas for everyone. Measuring a country's happiness is like trying to catch a butterfly, complex and beautiful, but easily startled. The World Happiness Report does a great job using factors like health and social support, but it's just a snapshot. Imagine a country ranked high, but with a big gap between the rich and poor. That's not a recipe for national contentment, is it? The good news is, these happy nations offer valuable lessons. Think of them as happiness heroes. They show us that investing in education and healthcare is like happiness fertilizer, creating a strong foundation for everyone. Strong social safety nets, where you know you're not alone, are happiness boosters too. And remember, all work and no play makes everyone cranky. A healthy work-life balance is key. As the old saying goes,
You can't buy happiness, but you can buy ice cream. And that's kind of the same thing.
let's not get into the sugar crash. But wait, there's more. What makes your heart sing? Spill the happiness beans in the comments below and tell us what you think makes a country truly happy. And hey, while you're on a roll, smash that subscribe button for more adventures in global well-being. Remember, as the great philosopher Ferris Bueller once said,
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it.
so don't miss out on creating a happier world. Let's explore it together.